The boys are back in town. Boys are back in town. The boys are back in town. Now let's begin the ultimate opening. UN Spacey Wolf Squadron. This is your Wolf Commander Wolf 10, your werewolf. Back again for one of the Sundays of Sundays. It will be the Blade Rewatch stream. The UN Spacey is back. Now we are a man down, but he will be with us in spirit. But let me welcome to my co-host, the Guyver Patriot, Owen Lister.
How you doing, everybody?
And the man down who will be with us in spirit will be our second wingman, the immaculate traveling scribe, Ivan Mendoza, and here he is, everybody. He will be providing the link for any of you guys who want to watch it with us. Tonight will be Blade, the original Blade, starring Wesley Snipes, Chris Christopherson. Oh, I forgot her name, but she's been in a lot of stuff too. And of course, Stephen Dorff, directed by Stephen Norton. No, actually written by Stephen Norton and directed by David. No, getting those wrong. Written by David S. Goyer and directed by Stephen Norton. Sorry about that, guys. So, one thing I gotta say about my experience with seeing this movie, I had the privilege of seeing this as a child when the Spider-Man the animated series first introduced him into the cartoon. Did you ever get that experience, Owen?
In a way, yeah, but it was more like I saw the reruns because I didn't grow up in the '90s. But yeah,
I keep forgetting about that. You were growing up in what is basically still the '90s, but like transitioning into the early aughts.
Yep. So yeah, I mostly saw the reruns. But yeah, I think was first introduced to Blade through the Spider-Man animated series. Yeah, it was pretty cool. And then the movies came out. Then I heard about the movies, and saw the reviews, and then I finally get to see the first one. And it was like, oh, sweet.
So how did you see the first one?
Through like any other film I usually first see on Netflix.
Oh,
that's also
you saw it?
Yeah, and
Okay.
that's what I also saw the sequel and everything. It was like, this is awesome.
Yeah, it's no longer on Netflix, sadly.
Yeah, that's why I had to get it on the physical copy because, as we all know, you don't own digital.
Speaking of the physical copy thing, I made a goof. I actually pulled the age boomer for this whole month.
Oh no, what did you do?
Well, here's the thing. We had this plan this was meant to be we were meant to stream this for last month, October.
Oh, okay.
I had this whole planned out. I was only going to set up the stream once you received your copy. Unfortunately, I never got the comment that you sent to me via direct message. And the moment I brought it up in the last WRC, you mentioned that you received the copy, and I go onto Twitter and I check our direct messages and I scroll up, and there it was on November the 1st, and we could have had this going a lot sooner than expected. And yet here we are near the end of the month now doing this. But like I said, originally we're supposed to stream it on at least at the end of October. But like I said, I was waiting for you to give me the go ahead to give me the receipt. But that was boomer moment on my part, since I'm the leader. I'm supposed to keep close contact with you guys, of course. But let me swing back real quick to tell you more of my experience of seeing Blade in the theaters.
Yeah.
See, me and my brother saw the TV spots on TV, of course, in the commercials. And my mom took us there, and I'm pretty sure she took us there for her own personal reasons. Mostly,
Ah.
well. One, she's gonna take her kids to get out and go see the movies with her. Knowing us, we're pretty much quiet throughout through every movie that she take us with her to see, right? But
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure she wanted to see that movie because either way, you go to movies with your parents regardless, whatever the movie it is. You can't object to that unless they want to see a movie that they know that you want to see. But at the end of the day, you can't object to it. But I'm pretty sure that she went to see that movie because A, Wesley Snipes was in it. B, it was a superhero movie, a black
Mm-hmm.
superhero
Mm.
to be
Ah.
more exact. 'Cause she don't know she knows squat about anything Marvel. Period. I have to explain everything Marvel. Oh, and other than that, like that's the reason. I'm pretty sure those were the reasons why she went to see Blade with us.
Ah.
Because thankfully, thankfully this movie was good. Because I'm
Yes.
pretty sure she probably would not been a happy camper, but we would have liked it all the same. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, her experience was good at Blade. She did not like the Phantom Menace when she went to take us to see that movie, and her
Oh.
and her criticism was that movie was boring, which echoes to every fan who've ever watched the Phantom Menace and rewatched it. You know,
I
and
don't
that's about
remember
it.
much of the Phantom Menace except for the last bit with Darth Maul. That's about it.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm speculating. I will admit that's speculating about my mother on my part. But if I ever, I'm pretty sure I will laugh my butt off to myself, mind you, because she won't know the context. This will be an inside joke between you and me. But I will laugh my butt off if I asked her, "Why'd you go see Blade with us? Or at least why'd you take us to see Blade?" And she says exactly what I speculated she did, I would laugh my butt off without context. And let's what wish Damien X247 a happy 39th birthday. I didn't know he was older than me.
Oh, well, happy birthday, Damien. How old you say he is?
He's 39.
Oh, well, happy 39th.
Yep. A lot of things have happened for this whole tail end of the year, specifically this month.
Yep.
We had the big reveal that I'm not going to speak too much on because that's their business.
Yep.
That what I mean is Thursday. We have had a few we have had a
One of the
few
biggest highlights of the year, if I may add.
yeah, we have had quite a few movements setting up within the Professor Geek group. We have also come together as a family. It's been quite a wild ride for everybody up to this point, and I hope this momentum continues on for the next year as well.
Yep.
So definitely, at this point, I've exhausted my topics for WCR. I'm actually fighting myself to make more topics to talk about for the future streams coming up.
Hmm. We
I
should have
like
one for the weekend. You can have me on. We can have a little discussion.
exactly, exactly. Now that you're bringing it up, that's a possibility too. That's that's not even that's actually not a possibility. That's a certainty actually.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I've got a fun stream coming on Tuesday. No topics, just talking about. I'm gonna basically pull a Ishi on that one,
Okay.
which is just come hang out and just talk and ask questions. Um, Next Tuesday will be me addressing certain things that's happening within the group, or at least certain things that's happening outside of our community, and that's
Ah.
something that needs to be talked about. So brace yourself on that one. Everybody brace yourselves on that one because I
Okay.
have a lot to say. And coming up will be another art related stream on next Thursday. And this Thursday coming up will
Cool.
be talking about archetypes and stereotypes, how they are now versus how they
Ooh.
were back then. And I have a lot to
Yes.
talk about. But I was thinking about putting them on the back burner because I don't want to come off sound like I don't know what I'm talking about, or I don't want to be all over the place. But you know what? I gotta do it. I gotta do it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I'm going to keep my thoughts clear, and I know exactly what I want to say and what I want to cover. Definitely. So I'm just laying out future plans of what's going on in the Wolf Tan channel for everybody who will catch us in the backwatch. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty much happy that I've done this so far. So far, I'm really happy to have done this streaming thing, and I'm also glad to have you along for the ride too, Guyver Patriot. That's your cue to say thank you.
Oh, yes. Thank you. Sorry, you were kind of roboting a bit, so I was like,
Oh, I did not hear myself robot. You can't hear yourself robot. That's weird. Oh, I hope it doesn't go that far into the stream. So we're in the 10 minute, 11 minute mark. Sorry, 11 minute mark. Let's get started with the movie at hand, shall we? And maybe we'll have time enough to catch the back end
sure.
of study hall. Hopefully, it's a 2 hour movie. Look
All right.
like
Oh,
so. Yeah, probably not gonna be able to catch study hall. But anyways, we'll be starting from the beginning.
before we
Those who
start,
have
give us your Wesley Snipes blade.
so since this is an R-rated movie, this might gonna be an R-rated stream. So if anybody catch the back watch, please excuse the language I'm gonna use. Some motherfuckers always trying to skate up Ice Hill. Sorry,
Yeah.
I messed up the line. I messed up the line, but my most favorite famous line of his, motherfucker, are you out of your damn mind?
I love that bit.
But my top favorite will be, you better wake up. The world around you is the known world. It's just it's an ice flavor covering on top of the cake. Beneath the cake is the real world. If you want to live through it, you better learn how to pull the trigger.
Mm-hmm. Are you all set?
I'm all set.
All right. Let's get this party started.
I might repeat those lines, by the way. So excuse me for saying that, guys. So I'll begin the count in 3, 2, 1, and begin. So that was another step up of new line, which I wish they
Yeah.
would have not merged with Warner Bros. But at the way how Hollywood's going, I would say it had to be done. What you gonna
Mm.
say, Owen?
Oh no, nothing. Just happy to watch this again. Oh,
I'm in.
1967.
Oh, you're ahead of me by seconds.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you know what? Yep, I forgot that Blade was born in 1967. He's pretty old.
Well, yeah, he's half vampire, so immortal or half immortal, you could say.
hmm That's Sana Lathan, by the
Ooh,
way.
pretty
She's been in
graphic
quite a lot
opening
of movies.
scene, I would say.
Oh yeah, we were not expecting this. Me,
Wow.
me and my brother, we were
Yeah,
not expecting this.
yeah, like wow.
They were trying to give her oxygen too, feeding that tube down her throat.
Yeah, but that's an open wound. I think that was a fake baby.
It is.
Uh yeah, it looked like one of those like baby dolls.
Damien said that it's the first DVDs he bought. But his dad had VHS, so he had to get his own. I remember
Oh, that's
a lot of
cool.
people owning this on that's lost. That looks like Los. I'm gonna hazard that might be I think that's Los Angeles.
Okay.
I could be wrong. Some of those bills look familiar. kind of looks like downtown Los Angeles, but but specifically the location that they're in is New Jersey, I think,
Oh,
or
okay.
I'm sorry, New Orleans. It's that's where Blade's story takes place in New Orleans.
Ah,
Go ahead.
I can
Sorry,
see that.
you were going to say something.
Oh yeah, I was just saying that what I was gonna say was like it was because of this film is the reason why we had the X-Men and Spider-Man and basically the whole MCU in the first place. So this definitely has a lot of good history behind it.
It's very culturally, uh, yeah, it's a cultural milestone.
Yeah, I feel like more people need to rewatch this again because it's like if it wasn't for Blade, we probably wouldn't get the MCU in a weird way,
hmm
or the way that we know it.
Well, it came at the tail end of Batman and Robin flopping. She's a
Oh
porn
yeah,
star, by the way. The actress.
huh?
Last time I checked, she's a porn star.
The one in blonde?
No, the redhead,
Oh, ah.
which is
Well,
interesting.
at least she made it big.
I mean, she's good at her profession. Now, if a dance party was happening in a butcher shop, would you go?
No, that's
Like
too
even if it
sketchy
had
for me.
even if it had fly ass women?
What?
I said even if it had fly ass women dancing and shaking their tails all over the stage, the quote unquote stage. Dang, there's a variety. Well,
Still,
sorry. Go ahead. I'm, just, I'm sorry. I'm taking in on the melting pot all you can eat buffet.
oh, I was saying like even if it had a lot of beautiful women in it, I would still not go to a dance party that takes place in a butcher. That's too sketchy for me.
Damien also let in some trivia to himself. He said the irony is Wesley took this project to get a Black Panther movie off the ground. Yeah, he was originally interested in doing a Black Panther movie.
Oh,
How times have changed since then.
I could see Wesley Snipes as oh no, I forgot his name.
T'Challa,
How could I forget his name?
or are you talking about
Yeah,
the guy who walked
T'Challa.
past?
Yeah,
Oh,
I could see him as T'Challa.
any black person could have been T'Challa, just like any black person could be T'Challa even after the passing of Chadwick Boseman. It's just that we're too attached to Chadwick Boseman, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Crunk is in the house too. I don't know if he's staying or not.
Oh,
Um,
welcome, Kronk.
hopefully you can. If you scroll up, Crunk. Ivan Mendoza has shared the link so you can watch it with us, or you have your own copy. If you want a timestamp, we can give you a timestamp. Sorry, continue, Owen.
Man. Oh no, sorry. It's just we just get to the. I just got to the part where it's raining blood like a
Yeah,
Slayers
me too.
concert.
I'm sorry. I was like jumbling my speech. So like it's only because like every time the shot would pan back to the guy and all around him, I'm like just seeing hot women just all over him and stuff. Like there was a whole garden of variety up in there. I'm just
Yeah,
just really just like entranced by that. Like, ooh man, so glad I'm married.
this is some pretty disturbing imagery right here. Actually, they're
Now I
all
like the
just
way how they gave him cat
attacking.
hisses.
It's more like jaguar hisses,
They're still cats, dude.
but big
Big cats,
cats.
yeah, big cats, yeah, but cats nonetheless. But I like that too.
Oh
And
yeah, it's their more animalistic side.
the thing is about well, we got the big reveal.
Yeah.
Personally, like I personally like this suit of Blade more so than the later suits that they use in the sequels.
Oh, they all seem sort of similar to me. Black trench coat.
The thing is, he's wearing a bulletproof vest in this movie. He does not have
Oh,
that vest in the second and third. The second one
oh,
is more of a tactical, like design vest, whereas the
okay.
third one has this big diamond shaped plate in the middle. Boom.
Ooh.
It's got meat hooks. Uh, what was you gonna do when you get there?
We'll rip your head off. Gets kicked in the head. I love the fact that who's the director's name again?
Stephen Norrington.
I love the fact that Stephen Norrington shoots this scene like a classic Hong Kong film.
And that's the whole point of it. It was like exploitation mixed with martial arts, and that's why Wesley got involved with it because he wanted to
Yeah,
do this.
he's an actual martial artist, right?
Yes, he's a martial artist. He does his own stunts.
Which that is pretty
He's a
awesome.
very committed actor. In
Oh
spite
yeah.
of his you know, what people say about him. I mean, there's some truth into what
Oh
they say about him.
yeah. Didn't he go to jail because he didn't pay his taxes?
That and he's not always that easy to work with. Hurt him
Oh,
bad.
I can see that. Ooh, I love that sword.
Man at Arms reforged forged that sword
Oh,
with the grip trap too to
that's
boot.
cool.
Yeah, you should check it out one of these days. I think it's called the Ninjato.
Ah, man, you can really tell that Stephen Norton was a fan of a lot of like Hong Kong films, mostly like Jackie Chan and Bruce Lee. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
And
I
this
still
was
love
before The
that scene where
Matrix, by the way, too. So
yeah. That's why I made that point when you brought up bullet time in that one stream. That's why I made
yeah,
that point. Like they didn't really invent that per se. They
no,
just popularized it.
yeah,
But it was around before the Wachowskis ever got around to doing bullet time. Especially when I mentioned Guyver too.
yep.
It's like that's technically bullet time, just not the bullet time that we're familiar with,
Hmm.
or at least the bullet POV person.
Yeah. Oh, it's
I'm
about
really
to
getting
get
tired of
lit.
chopping you up. Thought I'd try fire for a change.
Frost. Ooh.
Now that language was invented that he's speaking before he got burned.
Ah.
It's a mixture of
Oh,
European
some sort of
Slavic.
ancient.
Mm-mm. It is a
Yep,
mixture of
makes sense.
Slavic, European, and Russian, I believe. They contact the linguist
Yeah,
to do
that
that.
makes sense. That's where most of the vampires came from, right?
Well, not really, but that was the idea that they were going with
Yeah,
for the vampire language.
of course. Dracula and all that. Ooh, I love that little alleyway he goes through with the wind. It's
Oh,
very
speaking of,
exotic.
you know the scene where you know the scene where the cops come in. Stan Lee was supposed to have a cameo
Yeah.
there.
Oh, well, that would have been pretty cool. Stanley as a
Never ca-
cop, wondering what's going on here.
yeah, never cameoed in any of the Blade movies, sadly,
Aw,
which is a shame.
yeah,
Even with Blade Trinity getting the Marvel logo.
yeah.
Sorry, Fisher. Thank you for correcting me, though. He says Russian is a Slavic language.
Oh, okay. This is actually one of the few superhero films that the hero does not have a love interest.
No, but he did have a possible one in the sequel.
Well, yeah, until.
Nisa was her name.
Yeah.
But I would say that's more of a kindred spirit thing because they share kindred spirit because she was born as well, like he was. Not born the
Uh
same way
huh.
he was, but she was born nonetheless.
Yeah.
Damien says the guy who played Quinn was in all the early 2000s Marvel movies, including Daredevil and the first Ghost Rider.
Oh, that's cool.
Hmm. I'm about to look that up.
They were probably minor roles. I do
One thing I
like
forgot to.
that.
Oh,
I
sorry.
was
Go
gonna
ahead.
say I do like that it's still shot an actual horror film. Still hasn't
Hmm.
been completely like marvelized, if you know what I mean.
I'm not looking forward to Marvel's version of Blade.
I mean, I'm not even going to see any of the other MCU films, so you know.
Dude, we have 6 watchers right now.
Oh, cool.
Did the study hall ended short,
Hmm.
or is this other people that just jumped in? Those of you who are here to watch along with us, if you
Oh.
scroll up, I'm gonna talk about that in a bit. If any of you guys are gonna watch
Dude.
with us, my Immaculate Travis Scribe has linked up the movie. So if you guys want to watch it, if you need a timestamp, let us know.
Okay.
Uh, One thing about this one, I watched this with my wife, and it was her first time watching this movie. When Quinn popped up, she immediately
Yeah.
latched onto me and hit
Yeah.
her face in my arm. That's how much it scared her. That was kind of like our
Wow.
first movie night watching together
I mean,
before
it
we
does
got
look
married.
pretty terrifying when you look at it. Ah,
Get out of my way, you freak!
there it is. Oh, that is hilarious. That's
Motherfucker,
really
are you
cool.
on your
Actually,
damn
that's
mind?
a pretty terrifying scene.
I think me and my brother laughed our butts off when he said that line. He just shouts at them like they just, and what's funny was they could have kept shooting at the dude. They could have kept shooting that blade, and
Yeah, I was
they
just thinking,
cheesed out of that. Go ahead.
did he like ad lib that line because it felt
He might
like kind of
have.
broke character for a little bit when he got shot at. Like, did you seriously just
I mean,
shoot me?
oh, by the way, Quinn had to go to a real hospital because he had failed and dislodged his jaw,
Ooh.
and they thought he was a burn victim.
Oh.
And they got well, they left to bring back backup, but still,
Okay.
we will not
Oh.
talk about the unfortunate implications in this scene.
She
People
would have been
need to.
dead by then if he tossed her like
Well,
that.
she's lucky. There's a soft landing on the end.
Oh,
I still
true.
go ahead. I'm
I,
sorry.
I was like, I still think she would have broken a leg or something from that far of a fall.
Well, she has a dislocated
Oh,
arm.
yeah. Okay, good, okay. So they didn't give her complete plot armor, just a little bit.
Mhm.
Just
None of
enough.
them do. Now, what I was gonna say was that shot where he jumps. I
Yeah.
still love that shot to this day. I always mimic that shot too.
It's very much just like the Matrix, before Matrix kind of thing. Kind of like that chase scene in the opening scene with Smith and Trinity. They
I
leap
will.
on buildings.
I will say this: those cops are inaccurate. They would not
Police?
have shot. Yeah, the cops that were shooting at him, they would not have shot him if he was
Oh.
carrying a hostage.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That would endanger the hostage.
Exactly. Now we did gloss over a moment there where he the reason why he had taken her.
Oh, yeah, she got bitten.
Not even that, it's the fact that she reminded him of his mother.
Oh, okay. A little bit of a mother complex. Well, maybe not
Oedipus.
complex, but.
Oedipus.
Huh?
You're talking about Oedipus complex.
Oh, okay.
If you're talking about a boy who loves his mother, like if he likes a woman because of his mother, or at least she's the image of his
Oh,
mother. That that's
that
an Oedipus complex. If it's the girl who likes a guy because of the father, or at least loves the father, that is the electric complex.
oh, all right.
So, and both complexes come from Greek stories.
Hmm.
And Damien said that shot was beautiful. It is a beautiful shot where you're just driving through the city in dawn.
Yeah,
The
I was
blue is really good.
yeah, I was going to mention. I love how we're introduced to Whistler as basically this guy working on like whatever he's working on while listening to CCR Bad Moon Rising.
Yeah.
That's great. Like a modern day Van
S-
Helsing.
Give me a minute, Arthas John. I'll tell you a timestamp. I'm at 18, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
And I'm like 5 seconds ahead, so
Yeah. I'd rather, well, I'd just rather he just follow just me.
okay.
I say that because I started at black, where you start at red.
Oh, okay, that's where it was. Okay.
That's funny how I say it, considering my icon.
Yep.
Want to frost the little errand boys? Yeah, lead on them. But too bad.
Oof.
You didn't give consent. I give it 50-50. There's a little bit of cynical in his demeanor, but he
Yeah.
does care.
Yeah. Ooh. Now we meet with the vampires. Nice and black and lit and basically gothic. Like how a proper vampire should be.
The Vampire Nation.
Mm-hmm.
Damien is talking about how he was being festive on his birthday. Also, I'm enjoying a Goose Island Bourbon Country Stout. My second other night, the first went well with the steak I had. Congratulations, buddy.
Woo!
Enjoy.
I love steak.
That dude's been in a lot of nice movies. Um, he
He,
was in he was in from no, it was that one movie, End of Days with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
huh.
And he's been in a few of the Dracula movies or Dracula based movies, like the Hammer films, I believe. You were going to say something, right, Owen?
Oh. Now I'm reading the subtitles.
Mm. Oh, there was one thing I wanted to say about the design of the vampires. Not the Vampire Nation
Yeah.
specifically, but the vampires of the movie. What
Yeah.
Norton and Goyer was going with was a boomer versus Gen X, if you will.
Uh, I can see
And
that. Yeah.
here's the thing: Deacon Frost is completely different in the comics. He's not this Gen Xer '90s hipster dude, or at least like the rock star dude. He's actually an old German dude who's still a vampire nonetheless.
Yeah.
But like he was made during World War I, I believe. So what they went with is this
Huh.
they went, since I guess it's Stephen Dwarf, so they went for a more Gen X 90s vampire versus the old and busted, if you will, vampires like
Yes.
infighting.
Yeah.
So like you got one
You,
that's trying to maintain order, and you got another one that's like bringing in the chaos.
hmm, something you would later see more explored more in the Underworld series.
Hmm. I love how he just nonchalantly just ignores what he said,
Yep.
and I like the threat he gives him.
Yeah, like you said, young versus the old.
Young and impulsive, old and more controlled.
Yep. Yeah, the old vamps. They're like, we just want to maintain control and order. We're not here to cause a bloodbath.
He's got a plan too, though. That's the thing. He Even though he represents the chaos, he has a plan.
Yep. To be the strongest vampire.
I like this shot where he gets the serum, the
Yeah.
essence actually to make the serum.
Yep. Definitely adds more to the world building. Like, there's more than one vampire hunter.
I wished we could have went back to this guy and later. Well, part two I can understand, but
He
like
would have
part
been like
three,
the Q of Blade. He.
that's more of Whistler's thing. He's more of a like I said, he's more
Kind of.
of the
Oh, he's more Q.
yeah, Whistler's more cute, but this guy, if you want to put a character to him comparison, he'll be more of a what would be a better way to compare this guy to? More of a
Like Felix, Agent Felix, the American in the James Bond movies that sometimes makes an appearance.
no, more of a it'll come to me. I can't pinpoint. There's a character I'm thinking of that I can't really put my finger on. Well, she's awake now,
Ah,
Sleeping Beauty. Oh,
yep.
another trivia bit. Excuse me. When she wakes up, she's supposed to find a jar with a vampire baby inside in that room, and that baby was used to test
Oh,
out weapons by Whistler and Blade to give a little bit of gray and questionable morality to the heroes.
yeah, that is a bit questionable.
And Damien states that he thinks the director implied the herbalist is Blade's older brother, or meant to be. I mean, he is kind of a brotherly sorts, yeah.
I wouldn't say
Uh,
relations because he would have to have been born along
I mean,
with him.
sprung the trap.
It does make me think if like they did kept the baby bit, I wonder if that would have went a little too far.
It is a bit too far. That's why the studio didn't want them to go along with it.
Yeah, I was like, hmm. Like I know they want to give the whole gray area bit, but I don't think them using a baby would work. To,
Personally, though, I wish they would have kept it in.
I don't know if it would have sold it well, but
I'm just saying, I
who
wish they
knows?
would have
Maybe
kept
I would be.
or saved it for another sequel.
Hmm. Does it have to be a baby and not maybe like a vampire they kept as a prisoner? I
Yeah,
don't.
I'm saying there's one. It's one thing to get rid of an idea. It's another to recontextualize,
Yeah,
and recontextualizing always works
yeah.
more
So
ways
I
than
would
one.
definitely say if they want to do that, like don't make it a baby. Just make it a vampire they kept for as prisoner, and you can still have the whole great morality bit.
Something like that was explored in the 2003 Galactica show.
Ah,
But it
how did
wasn't a
they
baby.
handle
It was
it?
a Cylon. So if you watch the drinkers stream about Galactica, they made mention about a Galactica ship. I'm calling it that. I'm not saying that that's what happened in the ship Galactica, but one of the ships, just like Galactica, uh, captain has kept a Cylon prisoner, and to keep troop morale leveled, they she allowed them to vent their frustrations on the
Oh,
Cylon. And
oh,
by Cylon I mean the advanced Cylon, the ones that look
okay.
completely human. So they did questionable amounts of stuff to that Cylon, and
Mm.
it really tests out the viewer's morality uh really heavily.
Yeah, I can
Cause
see
yeah,
that.
on one hand it's like you really hope that she gets her just desserts, right? But at the
Yeah.
same time you also understand why she did what she did.
Ah, okay.
But yeah, check that one out, because that was an interesting topic that they discussed that I was like, oh wow. Schooner is being very active. So
Oh,
he
welcome, Schooner.
well, he's already been here. He was actually the first. I should have
Oh,
addressed it everybody first and foremost, but Schooner was actually the first comment. He said hello, and
okay.
he was first. But he said apparently the original draft of Blade 3 was going to be more of a Mad Max feel after Frost destroyed the Council. The High Vampire in Part
Ah,
2 had to take direct command, but when he died, the vampires were leaderless, started eating humans uncontrollably. As such, the world became a dystopia, and Blade was waging a one-man war against the vampires. I'm going to shed a little bit more light into that too once we get to the ending section of this movie. I love that car though, by the way.
ah. Mm.
They own the police. You have to understand they're everywhere.
Vamp Mace. I like the idea that they wanted to go for Blade 3, like an apocalyptic finale. That would have sounded more epic.
That movie had three alternate endings, by the way.
Oh, I heard there was one that involved a werewolf, so
Yeah, that was dumb.
I think they were trying to introduce Werewolf by Night, which could have been pretty cool.
You had to drink, had a gun, it's
Mm.
better than alternative.
Have you
That was.
ever?
Go ahead.
I was going to ask. Have you ever considered that the whole Marvel universe was supposed to be a little bit more darker than DC when you really think about it, on like
You
how the characters are written compared to like
you all tuned a
Superman
bit.
and all.
You're all
Hmm?
tuning a bit. What'd you say? I say you're
I
all
was
tuning up. Go ahead.
I was saying, do you think that Marvel was always intended to be a lot more darker than DC? Just basing it off of like say Blade and all that.
I will say this: the reason why Marvel got where they were was because they weren't afraid to take chances. At least when Stan Lee was helming, he wasn't afraid to
Yeah.
take chances. Cause let me shed some light in the comic book code comic book code of back then.
Yeah.
It's much like
Oh yeah.
worked in the same way as the ratings system in movies. So did you know that if you were writing comic books, you were not allowed to talk about the occult, Satanism, or even vampires
Ah.
or werewolves?
Mm.
They had to be not necessarily in superhero stories. They had to be their own genre.
Ah.
Also,
Oh.
superheroes could not be. There was no teen superheroes. It could not be teens. Also, superheroes did not have bug themes to them. Nobody likes spiders or bugs. Guess who proved them wrong?
Stanley, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I guess that's why I always got the impression that, like, Marvel, I feel like, is a lot more darker than DC in comparison.
Though I have to siphon Damien's comment here. He said not much darker, much as more real with people's behavior. And Matthew Flynn is with us. Matthew, my wingman Ivan Mendoza has the movie in link. If you want to watch it with us, pop it in. Or if you got your own copy, pop yours in and let me know when you want a timestamp.
Welcome, Matthew.
He's new to my stream now. He's been in a few other streams though. He's
Yeah,
no stranger
I've seen
to
him too.
these. Yeah. Interacted with him a few times. Thanks for joining us tonight though, Matthew Flynn.
Yes, thank you.
That was actually, I would say that's a big surprise on my end. It's like Matthew Flynn's here.
Ooh,
There's
more
tension
vamps.
rising.
Yeah, I always love a good elevator scene with tension.
Though I would not have called these
Calm
guys
before the
vampires.
storm, as you put it.
Yeah, I'm saying I would not have called these guys vampires. I would say they were more familiars.
Oh,
I mean, yeah, your first impression would be they're vampires, but they're not always like the people that you see half the time. They're not always vampires.
oh,
They're
that's
familiars. That's why in some shots when
yeah.
the bodies don't disintegrate, that's just a familiar. You can rule that those are familiars if they don't disintegrate.
Oh, okay.
So not only is he killing vampires, he's also killing humans too that work for them.
Well, I mean, they
Which
sacrificed their humanity when
I'm
they
going to
decided to
explain
face
more
the
when
big
we get to
deal
that
with the
one
devil.
scene.
So they get what they paid for.
Yep. I like Damien's heroics. Heroics seem more epic when the protagonists had to overcome their own flaws as well as their enemies. Yep. He's basically talking about how Marvel tackles their stories versus DC. DC tends to be more obstacle in their stories, like the hero overcoming an obstacle, whereas Marvel has obstacles within the obstacle within the human spirit in Marvel. That's the difference between Marvel and DC, Owen.
Oh, could you
Did
repeat that again? You
you
kind
hear me?
of were like roboting, so it was a little hard to get. So all right.
Oh, okay, let me
So
try it again.
DC is
So,
overcoming.
an
Okay.
obstacle outwardly, and Marvel is
Oh, okay.
overcoming the obstacle within yourself.
Like the inner
That's why
demons.
Iron Man's a drunk. Yeah, basically that's why Iron Man's a drunk,
Oh, okay.
or Spider-Man is trying to pay the bills while superheroing.
Yeah.
That's what I
Okay.
mean.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
And I'm gonna give Matthew Flynn a timestamp real fast. So I'm at 36, 12, 13,
Ooh.
14, 15, 16. I like this shot. The next shot that's coming
Yeah.
up that you're gonna see soon.
Ooh.
Oh, vampire. Nobody.
He's like their little Renfield.
Yeah. He just ragdoll him throughout the whole the whole living room.
Yep. You're
Just
wrecking her
wrecking her
house.
place.
Well, not house, apartment, but still, like.
I like how she's taking the idea that they're using her as bait. It's not like a okay, cool. It's more of a huh, really? Unless a writer would just have her just being so blasé about it. No, she actually took it serious. Like the idea that you actually used me as bait. Now she relaxed in the next shot, but still, it's like she's still like really like not cool with that.
Ooh.
You see what I'm saying? She's sort of relaxed, but she's still not cool with him. Am I still roboting, by the way? Can you hear me, Owen?
I can still hear you.
Okay.
Okay. You do you? Can you hear me?
You robot slightly, but yeah, I can hear you. This is a weird stream tonight.
Oh, am I gonna have to leave and come back on?
No, no, you're fine. I'm just saying, like we're having a
Oh,
weird
okay.
stream right now. Yeah, Damien,
Yeah.
Spider-Man is one of the best examples of Marvel overcoming the obstacle within. Yeah, that's a big example. Like
Hmm.
a hero balancing work and the other work.
Hmm. I think that might be the problem with, like,
To
say,
pull the
like
trigger.
with MCU and, like, the DC cinematic universe. They kind of got their roles flipped.
Yeah,
Like, in a way, Marvel should have been more like uh, like the DC movies. Like, a little
I like the
darker.
transition scenes. Sorry, I like the
Oh yeah, when
transition
it's
scenes
like,
where they speed up.
yeah, it passes time a lot better.
The way I like to the way I like to point that out is it's like a comic book page flip. Oh,
Oh yeah, I can
and
see that. Or
what?
in panels.
So Matthew, I'm at 39, 51, 52, 53, 54. So pay attention to one shot when we come up at now, and I'll tell you why you should pay attention. I
Oh,
like this.
I just saw a vampire taking on basically a prostitute.
That's the director, by the way,
Oh, that
cameoing.
was the director as the vampire.
Mm-hmm.
he
That's Stephen Norrington.
got some messy hair and a beard.
Probably his costuming.
Oh, okay.
I
That'd be
forgot what
kind
he
of
looked
funny.
like
That
in the
was the actual
interviews.
hair and beard.
Yeah, I'm saying I forgot what he looked like in the interviews when I saw the interviews.
Ah,
And whore. He said, and the whore. The way they move, the way they smell. It's like a wolf.
I just realized it's lit like the John Wick films with the reds and blues.
Squad. Forget what you see in the movies. You sticks. I'm just messing up on quoting the lines here.
Uh,
Head and heart. Anywhere else, it's your ass.
oh,
Damien mentions by the way, that
is
Asian
that baby metal?
band right now, the Asian girls, that's a
Yeah.
real band.
Oh, not surprised actually.
So their group, you want to know the name of the group?
What's the name?
Bang Wa Cherry. Also,
Ah,
The lyrics to that rap that they're doing,
Yeah.
very pornographic.
Oh.
So yeah, if you ever translate the lyrics, it talks about a lot of certain members, if you know what I mean, and it
Dang.
involves schoolgirls.
Oh, that's.
Also,
Ooh.
I think the name of the song that they're singing is called Chin Chin. By the way, if you want to look it up,
Oh.
but if you can't find it, just think of the name Bang Wa Cherry. And
Okay.
I was gonna quote Damien real quick because he was mentioning Vampire the Masquerade. Yeah, it does give off a Vampire the Masquerade vibe to it.
Never seen that one.
Schooner Tuna says the one benefit of the Commons Code, it forced the creators to become more creative, at the very least long enough for them to exploit the loopholes. Yep, exactly. Restrictions tend to encourage us to think outside the box. That's
Yeah,
something
but
I
definitely
should.
put a
Sorry, go
put
ahead.
a. I said, but definitely put a dent into anyone who wanted to write horror comics.
I mean, we got a lot of great stuff. We had Dracula comics, we had werewolf comics, mummy comics. We had quite a lot of stuff. What I'm saying is they were preventing writers from adding horror elements to superhero comics. So if
Oh.
they it put it like this, if the comic book creators stuck to the code, we wouldn't have Michael Morbius per se as the vampire Michael
Oh.
Morbius in Spider-Man, let alone
Yeah.
Hobgoblin or any of that, because those were more horror themed characters, or at least horror themed monsters, or at least, well, goblins are more
Yeah.
medieval, but still they're still part of the horror community.
Yeah. But like Green Goblin was very much a. Oh look, rubber duckies. Anyways, like Green Goblin was very much a Halloween esque kind of character.
Hmm. I like that little,
What's with the
I like
rubber
that little seat where
duckies?
she's wearing. That was just all the range in the '90s, dude. Just
Ah.
remember, you seen certain movies with pools in them. They tend to have ducks, rubber duckies in them.
Oh.
It's not really a very odd thing to have. I've seen it quite a few times growing up.
Hmm. He got a hairy chest.
That's Steven Dorff for you. That's all that you notice, Owen. I mean, it's not like there was like a scantily clad woman that was standing
Yeah,
behind him.
I noticed. I noticed the woman he was with. It's just.
You better be lucky we were not watching Alien Resurrection, because that would have been really awkward that you had to comment on the commander's arms. That dude had some gorilla arms in
Oh.
Alien Resurrection.
Hmm. I never
I'm,
noticed.
I'm, I'm, I'm giving you grief, dude. Don't worry.
Then again, I only seen Alien Resurrection once, and that was on TV, and that bored the heck out of me.
That's only because it was cut down in parts. You didn't really they didn't really show you the good stuff, the sillier stuff. You know what's funny?
Oh.
Only one of those girls was still around
Okay.
later in the film. Those two girls that's with her, only one of them stuck around. You see her later in the movie. That girl sitting down
Ah.
that you saw with the jacket on, she's a
Yeah.
real martial artist.
Oh, what?
She's a ta- she's a real Taekwondo
Oh,
martial
real
artist.
martial arts. You said.
And yeah, and Wesley Snipes insisted that she was added into the movie.
Okay.
Yep, which is we're gonna see her abilities on display later on in the film.
All right.
But
Ooh.
she's an
They
accomplished
took out
martial
the
artist.
little weasel.
Yeah, By the way, they're watching Mortal Kombat in that party.
That's good.
Yeah, they were on the scene where Reptile becomes Reptile.
Ah. No, did they ever add a vampire in Mortal Kombat at all?
They did. Her name was Natira, and she was in Mortal Kombat Daily Alliance.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I was
And the
like,
only go ahead.
because I was like, you'd think they would add a vampire in Mortal Kombat. That's like a, you know, an obvious.
And the only reason why she did not get added to any later rosters because her arc was already completed in Daily
Oh,
Alliance. Her whole arc was to release her homeworld, her vampire homeworld, and restore her people. And if you play as her, you'll get that ending. So there was nothing to
oh,
do with else. There was nothing else left to do with her in the end.
oh. All right.
So yeah, they had a vampire.
Hmm.
They even had an ogre, Moloch.
That's great.
I don't even know what to even call Draman.
Man, that is one fat looking vamp.
Or in the case of Happy Madison movies, that's a huge bitch.
I can't tell if that is male or female.
Oh, his design. I'm gonna use he for this one. His design originally was going to
Okay.
be an androgynous Japanese man, and they had to move this thing.
Oh,
It's four people in that puppeteering,
but I guess they
and,
thought a
and
Jabba the Hutt would look more grotesque.
well, here's the thing, like the sketch that they did of him is really fantastic. But yeah, he's like the backstory
Oh,
is or at least one of the story ideas, he's like that because he feasts on hearts, baby hearts, and children hearts. That's why he's so big. He's basically a cannibal.
oh,
But what I was saying was about the special effect.
oh,
It had to be moved by a forklift because it was so heavy, and the operation was four people, puppeteers
oh.
and the actor. And his name is Pearl, the archivist.
Ugh, it's nasty. The way she just burned him,
That screaming still horrifies me.
removed.
I'm saying that his screaming still horrifies me, regardless of how a grotesque monster he is. I can't
Yeah,
help but feel sorry for the guy.
yeah. But like you said, he feasted on little kid hearts, so
No, that's the intended idea. They didn't go through with it. That's one of the
oh,
intent. They
okay.
have some
In that
really
case,
messed up
just a fat
ideas.
slob.
Yeah, I'm saying they had some really messed up ideas that they didn't use,
Maybe because of the fact that maybe it's just the fact that they're working with vampires and they figured vampires. Let's see how messed up we can go.
or that, and the world was not ready. The
That
world
too.
is just not ready.
Got
Oh,
another fight scene
we're
coming
in.
in.
Yeah, we're in the vampire archives, the Holy Bible, Erebus,
Yep.
the Book of Erebus, which is a Greek
Got,
goddess actually, and
that is some big Bible they got there.
hmm
If it has to be in a hallway.
well, it's. I'm pretty sure those are all just scrolls that they've decided to just hang.
Oh.
I don't think it's just one big book. It's called the Book of Erebus, but I don't think you should take that literally.
Uh,
And Matthew Flash says this movie story is loosely based on the Blade comic at at the time.
oh.
I love that kick she does.
Uh, ooh. Backhanded
That's
her.
her. That's all her kicking him. That's not a
That's
stunt woman.
impressive, I would say.
Especially that kick that he catches. That's good form.
The You're ruining history, by the way.
I'm sure they can rewrite.
Yeah,
They can reprint.
true.
Most of these guys are actually stuntmen and accomplished martial artists. Look at that kick he did to pin him in that wall.
I would say that is a good. That's a good choice. It's a good casting choice right there. Then
Hmm.
might as well cast people who know what they're doing.
I, gr- nice detail on the bone at
He
the end of
says
the
sticker.
tips. Yeah, pig sticker.
Yeah, I did. Can they take a hit?
Kind of like Quinn's braids there. He's
Braids?
appropriate. He's appropriating people's cultures by wearing those braids in his hair. Shut up.
Oh,
One,
braids.
he could possibly be a Scandinavian, so yes, it is
Yeah.
culturally appropriate. Get off your high horse.
I was just wondering if he is a Scandinavian. Wonder where he got the more hillbilly way of acting.
Time, obviously.
Ah,
Being more, you'll assimilate to one's culture and one's mannerisms and cadences. Much like what H. Boomer had once said when he moved to a different state, he adopted
yeah.
the accent.
Ah,
That'd be like me if I were to say if I moved to, let's go to New Orleans, I'll probably adopt an accent living there long enough.
probably. Yeah. Ooh, Whistler.
Mm-hmm. Catch you sons of bitches at a bad time.
I love the fact that even if he has a bum leg, he still has a good trigger finger.
Mm-hmm. Pay attention to the guys that's falling down right now.
Oh yeah, they got
None of
back
them
up.
disintegrate. Did you notice that? He
Oh
backhands
yeah,
that bitch right there.
you're right. So most of them are just.
Yeah, those are familiars. They're not really vampires, except for the ones that jump with
Oh yeah, you're
Quinn.
right. They had disintegrated. Yeah. Wow, they do have
Granted,
more agents than I thought. I
exactly.
assumed they
What
were
I'm
all
saying is,
vampires, but no, they just have a lot of agents that
yeah,
they
what I was gonna
recruited.
say was, sorry, what I was gonna say was, you could rule out that they didn't have enough in the budget to make them disintegrate, but no, you can actually infer that those are familiars.
Yep.
Nair
Oh,
would not like that. He took the Lord's name in vain.
I mean, they do a lot more worse than just taking the Lord's name in vain. So,
That's just her pet peeve that I like hearing her say.
yeah.
So whenever time she brings it up, I'm like, so what strike is that? One or two? Just like last night with planes, trains, and automobiles. I was
Oh.
like, so how many strikes are we on? Seven? Oh no, it wasn't planes, trains, and automobiles. It was the best little whorehouse in Texas. Because she was mentioning like he's going over my limit of GDs in these movies, and if he goes one more, I'm gonna leave and you tell me if it's done. And I throw in a
Oh.
comment saying, so how many strikes are we in? Seven? I want to know what her limit is. I'm just curious. Matthew Flynn also mentions the Reapers in Blade 2. Those things are
Oh yeah.
scary.
Oh. Just like
Kind
in
of makes you wonder
Spider-Man
where she
3.
stabs them at. Where do you think they got that from, dude?
I know. That's what I mean. Blade had such an impact.
They also use that in Superman Doomsday.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a scene
Probably.
where Doomsday like shoves Soup's head towards the train and he's just bumping against it.
Oh.
If you ever seen that movie,
Which one is it?
Superman Doomsday.
Oh no, I've never seen that one.
Yeah, it's before the Death of Superman New 52 version.
Oh, okay.
It's more a condensed version too of Superman Doomsday because they didn't even have
Oh,
JLA. They didn't have the I think the JS. It's not the Justice League. I think it's the JLA
Justice
where they
Society.
had. I think it was Justice Society
Ah.
because it had Booster Gold, Fire and Ice, and Guy Gardner in that one.
Oh yeah, those are they were in the original run.
Yeah,
Yeah, I read that.
they didn't have that in the anime movie. They condensed it. Especially they didn't even do Reign of the Superman in that movie. They just sell it for a clone
Oh, okay.
for Cyborg Superman.
Yeah,
It
that
had,
run did last for quite a while, didn't it?
hmm but it did carry all the personality traits of each Superman,
Oh, that's
save for
cool.
Steel and yes, save for Steel.
Ah,
Oh, we're getting a little backstory about him.
yeah.
You get a snippet of that in the sequel, in the opener of the movie. There's a
Of what?
scene where I'm saying there's a scene where they have Whistler pinned him against the wall, a young Blade,
Ah,
and then they follow up on that again in Blade Trinity, where they show Blade like waiting on his prey. He was preying on as Whistler say, preying on homeless people.
okay.
Yeah, that's the only good thing about that movie. Actually, was
Oh,
that little scene of young Blade. The
hmm,
actor did a good job mimicking Wesley Snipes' grunts.
hmm.
He did a really good job. Sold me on that could have been a young Wesley Snipes. And he's drinking down a whiskey.
Of
He's a
course,
hard drinker.
he's an old cowboy. That's what he is.
Yes, Joni still had a live action movie, and it's a guilty pleasure for me.
I've seen reviews of that film, Steel, and it's like, ooh.
It's bad, but
Yeah, I
I
can
still
tell.
enjoy it all the same.
There was one clip that a lot of the reviewers show that is hilarious when they throw a grenade and the guy just yells, "No!" and blows up.
He is the writer of the Underworld first movie. The guy who says no.
Really?
And he's an actor in the first movie. That was Ray's.
Oh, that's hilarious.
hmm Yeah, if you know who Ray's
Uh,
is, yeah, that was him. He was younger then. He's been in a lot.
ah,
Like I said, he's been in a lot of movies. He was in Congo too. He was a cameo. He wasn't really. He was an extra in Congo.
ah. Huh. That's
So if
another
you
film
want,
I haven't seen yet, but
well, if you want to check that one out, where to find him? There's a scene where the African military comes to release the heroes, quote unquote, and he's the
okay.
first one that walks in.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
like he doesn't say nothing but looks around. He's like that. I hate to say this. He's like this very dark African dude that walks in with this very serious face, this little scowl, and he's been cradled to the grave with Jet Li and DMX. He's one of the guards guarding the this big man that's in this cell that's like decked out.
Okay.
So yeah, he's been in quite a number of things.
Ooh, look at his face.
hmm See, there's that girl that was mentioned. One was stuck around. You little skis.
Ooh.
Yeah, you're right, Matthew Flynn. Justice League International, JLI. I didn't. Yeah,
Ah, that's what they were. Okay.
yeah, Justice League International. And Schooner says, "I never acknowledged that film. We need a true Steel film. Who's with me?"
Depends. Who would do Steel Justice?
I got one. I got two
Who?
actually.
Oh, who?
Either well, he's playing Falcon right now, but it would have been Anthony Mackie
Oh, yeah.
and either Morris Chestnut or Flex Wallace from 101.
Don't think I ever seen that one.
He was also in Snakes on a Plane. He was that playboy that didn't like people touching him.
I'd never seen Snakes on the Plane either.
Where have you been all this time, Owen? Kidding, kidding. All right, let me go with somebody who you really know. I
Yeah.
would definitely would have casted Terry Crews,
Oh, I could see him as Steel. Yeah.
but he would still be my Luke Cage.
Yeah, I could see him as Luke
Definitely.
Cage. Oh, for me, if I had to cast Luke Cage, I definitely would go with Michael J. White.
Sadly, Damien, he would not be in my trust for John Stewart. He just mentioned Michael J. White just now.
Uh,
That would have been Morris Chestnut, maybe, if he was up for it, or Idris Elba. But he don't want to. He don't want to be in no comic book movies.
yeah.
So and well,
Oh.
but if I want to go with an unknown, uh, black on his image right now, but it'll come back to me. Definitely would pick the guy who plays Black Lightning in the CW Black Lightning. I don't like that series, but I would definitely pick him as John Stewart though.
Okay. Didn't they imply that the actor that's playing Diggle was going to be like another, like a Green Lantern?
Yeah, he would definitely be my top pick too. John
Yeah, I
Diggle.
could see. Yeah, because I could definitely see him as John Stewart. He kind of looked a bit like him from the Justice League animated series. And
It's funny how we're watching a Blade movie. And we're talking about DC superheroes and stuff.
well, they're all kind of connected in a weird way. I mean, like someone mentioned in the comments, if we didn't have Blade, we wouldn't have had X-Men or Spider-Man.
This scene horrified me as a kid.
But yeah, we're watching a vampire roast.
Mm. I didn't get a chance to talk about his dialogue, Deacon Frost's dialogue in this scene. He's like, it's getting a little toasty out here, and you just see Dragonetti just like cringing and wincing at the pain.
Yeah.
Especially when he pulls out the fangs. I still feel that.
Yeah, that looked painful.
I was thinking about a Blade Trinity rewrite some time ago. And what I
You
would
should
have done,
stream that.
I just might. Now that you mention, I was gonna say right now, but you know what? I'll save it for a stream.
All right. Because I
I'll
also
say
been thinking of like some rewrites ideas I had.
that actually could be just a whole stream of me talking about the three rewrites I wanted to do for movies that were terrible.
Mm-hmm. I definitely would love to rewrite the first Guyver film.
Schooner Tuna mentions the Black Lightning series on the CW is following New 52 Black Lightning, and I do not like it. I hate that show so much.
Oh.
That is not Black Lightning. I ain't never read no Black Lightning comic book, and I know that's not Black Lightning. Some cure. I just like how Whistler's just chuckling.
Yep.
I ain't. You know what?
I
Speaking of
do
Black
like
Lightning,
that she's a part of this team.
yeah. You want your representation? This is your representation right here, you dingbats. First of all, get you some self-esteem, and then get back to me on what you want representation for. 'Cause that's what they want. They want validation.
Oh,
That's all they want.
uh, yeah.
They don't want
I was just
representation. No, no, no. I'm going on a tangent.
okay. I was just mentioning I like how over time in this film she's like became basically a part of their little vampire hunting team.
Temporary.
Yeah, but still, I thought she was a great addition to their little group.
Now, I will give you a snippet of the rewrite. She would have been the she would have been leading the Night Stalkers.
Oh,
Like we would have came back to Karen leading the Night Stalkers,
that'd
and
be pretty cool.
Abigail Whistler would have been just like this rookie Night Stalker in training.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
Cause
After
her
her,
arc. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, 'cause, yeah, after her experiences with these vampires, yeah, I could imagine her becoming a vampire hunter herself.
Because they do her whole arc right now in this movie is the fact that she's bitten, and they even though they did give her like the serum
Yeah,
to prevent the turning,
yeah.
they never really say that she turned in the end. Only thing we
Oh,
got
okay,
with Blade was, you want to help make me better serum, right? Because
right.
she does make a much better serum, which is displayed in Blade 2. But like I said, like that never get explored in any of the sequels. So I'm like, let's just
Mm.
say, let's just say that she did live, that she did not turn, and now she's leading a new vampire hunting group.
Yeah, I could see that, and maybe the side effects is that she does still have a little bit of, some of Blade's abilities. Maybe a little bit of enhanced strength and abilities.
I wouldn't go that far. I just make her normal human. She'll be the new Whistler, basically.
Oh,
She'll be the legacy Whistler in my writing. Damien
okay.
says, I say this as an Hispanic man. I take Wesley Snipes' Blade over 1,000 race swap characters. Yes, yes, I agree. Oh, you were gonna say something, Owen? No, guess not. Fucking maniac. Told you guys this is gonna be an R-rated stream tonight. I'm gonna lay out the swear words
Yeah.
because I don't. I mean, I can censor myself, but it would not be as effective. Is what I'm saying. But thankfully, you will not hear me use the GD in this one.
Hmm. Yeah, just like the conversation between Frost and Blade.
Hmm.
Ooh, going for the old language.
Stupid. You're nothing to me but another dead vampire.
Yep.
He's spitting right my fucking face. They're just cattle.
Ooh.
Hmm.
Never mention a man's mother like that.
Early bullet time.
Uh-oh.
She should not have survived that. But that's movies for you. She went right through metal and glass. I'm sorry. I will never. Even as a kid, I'm just saying. Even as a kid, when I saw that, like, ain't no way in hell she would have survived that, dude.
I just say it's a comic book world, so
Damien, Blade versus Simon Phoenix. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Blade versus Simon Phoenix. That's a hero versus a villain. Who you think will win?
plus I don't think Simon Phoenix is a super soldier of any kind. They
Oh
just
no,
upped
he
his
was
combat abilities.
oh, he was very enhanced. Trust me, he was very enhanced in that movie.
Oh,
Like
doesn't
they,
seem as enhanced compared to Blade, is what I'm
no, no,
saying.
I'm saying like he was enhanced for that future. Cause the way,
Oh, okay.
cause think about it like this: when he fight those cops, he notices
Yeah.
that his body is completely different. So he would know his body before he got frozen to the future. You know, especially the fact that
Okay.
when he was pressing the buttons on that keyboard,
Yeah.
he knew things that was different about him. So he was like really understanding that his body has changed. So he was definitely enhanced,
Okay.
not cybernetically, but he was
No,
genetically enhanced.
at least in the brains, I should say.
Hmm.
Oh, they shot him in his good leg.
Yes, Dan, it would be an entertaining fight, but you put a question mark at the end. So I'm like, are you serious? You're asking me who I think will win? Excuse me.
How about Simon Phoenix versus Frost?
Frost will win.
Before or after the his little upgrade?
Even with the upgrades, Frost will win. Simon would not know that. I would say Simon would not know that Frost is a vampire. He'll probably try to shoot him with regular conventional weapons.
Oh,
Plus, Frost is a bit faster and a bit stronger, despite Simon's enhancements.
yeah, that's
Now,
true. I mean,
who will be the better sadist? That's still up for debate.
hmm, Simon
Schooner,
Phoenix is definitely a lot like Joker when you
mhm.
do the comparisons.
Schooner says, "What if Blade ran into Platt Alexander Patterson from Helsing? I think they would fight each other. They would, because Anderson would only see him as a monster. Though
Quite true.
Anderson would have won, hands down. And it's not because he's an anime character. Just looking at his power sets, he would have won.
I don't even think he was even human to begin with. Especially during the end when he impaled himself with that spike and turned into a Resident Evil boss.
Damien, he still would have lost. Simon, he would have lost, even if uh, Frost doesn't go La Magra ritual, he still would have won. He has to kill his own surrogate father.
Yeah, that's pretty messed up.
Part of the anti-hero mode too. Anti-heroes get a bad rap for being edgy, but they still hold the aspirational hero archetype, like most true heroes. The thing is about anti-heroes is the fact that they're the gray
Yeah.
heroes. They can do things that that heroes won't do, and still come out morally correct, and
Yep.
still be uh somewhat not morally compromised per se until you get into those deep moral concepts where they're morally compromised.
Yeah. I think Zack Snyder doesn't quite understand anti-heroes as much as he likes to think he does.
The only thing Snyder understands is mercenaries. That's it. That's all the heroes are. They're mercenaries in a way.
Think if he would have made a good Suicide Squad movie,
Oh, I'm sure he would have.
they should have let him do that instead.
They should have tied him. They just. The thing is, he should have stuck to anti-hero movies, not
Yeah,
aspirational hero movies.
yeah. Not
They
even
should.
Batman.
They should have kept Brian Singer for those, because he did a good job. For what it's worth, he did a good job with Superman Returns.
Yeah, he did.
And X-Men are still aspirational heroes despite the circumstances of their stories in the movies. They're
Yeah.
still aspirational.
Oh,
That's
it's
a
just
modified Mac 10, by the
yeah.
way,
I just noticed like, oh, it's a little Mac 10. They just made it look heavier.
and functional. That was the idea of its build. He
Yeah,
said, make this gun bigger and make it functional. That gun can shoot,
that's
by
cool.
the way.
He basically took like the '90s aesthetic of weapons, but made it functional.
Just like the pulse rifle in Alien. That thing
Yeah.
can be made. The pulse rifle from Aliens can be
Ah,
made. There's a lot of builds online. That thing can be made.
that's cool.
Just like
Yeah, well,
Robocop's gun. Robocop gun can be made. Just gotta
yeah.
make it functional.
I guess
Sorry.
what I was trying to say is about the '90s aesthetic on guns is what I mean is like in like what you see in comics from the '90s when all the guns are like huge.
Hmm.
I feel like they took that but made it actually functional and had it made sense.
Yep.
Where they just like take modern weapons and we just modify them.
So you probably don't know Deacon's girlfriend's name, do you?
I mean, I know who. Uh, oh, you mean the
Not.
blonde one?
Yeah.
No, I don't think I caught her name.
They never say it.
Oh,
Her name is Mercury.
huh.
Just letting everybody know that's her name, Mercury.
Okay.
I've I gotta say I did kind of cat caught the. I didn't read it during the '90s Matthew Flynn, but I did read the first volume in my local library during the double digit 20s, the double digit 2000s. I can't tell you which year I started reading that one. I
Uh,
wanted to get the omnibus books though. That's why I
I think
want. That was my
only
goal.
I actually do have some of the Spawn comics, but like I mostly got the story through like the like animated show I saw on YouTube.
Yeah, well, yeah, the series are still like season 1 through 3 are still on YouTube, and I'm surprised they're still on YouTube despite their subject matter.
Yeah, I enjoyed them for what they were.
Okay, a bit of trivia. This scene here with Deacon and Karen,
Yeah,
haha, Karen.
yeah.
This scene was supposed to go way longer,
Oh,
and I'll tell you why, or at least I'll tell you what was supposed to go into this scene. There's supposed to be a scene where it shows a representation of what Deacon was trying to do, which is cause the blood flood, which
yeah.
he was gonna basically summon forth La Magra, and it was gonna be this big blood wave that engulfs the whole world and turn everybody into vampires. That's his plan. And
Oh,
after his little monologue, what he says, what we're gonna get into soon, she asks him if everybody's gonna be a vampire, then how are you gonna feed? And he shows the blood crops, which is humans that are used for feeding. Like they're basically in bags, and they drain them blood so that they can feed off of them.
oh,
But in one shot, you can actually see the blood crop, which the blood crop actually comes back up in Blade Trinity. But
okay.
if they kept the scene in, it would have kept it would add more contextualization to the blood crops in Blade Trinity.
Oh, okay.
Dang, everybody lit up when they mentioned Spawn.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so I was a little mesmerized by Deacon Frost when he mentioned it. We're the head of the freaking food chain.
We're at the top of the fucking food chain.
Yep.
Everybody you ever, everybody you ever knew, everybody you ever fucking loved. He,
Yeah, he was
Stephen
intimidating
Dorff.
in that bit.
I gotta give Stephen Dorff. He really does do f bombs real good. Like, like you
Almost as
said,
good
he
as Sam Jackson.
yeah. I'm saying like the way how when not to mention his intimidation, you know, it could have fell short if it was somebody else, but he does a really good job making f bombs sound very threatening.
I heard in one of the reviews, they said that in I think interviews, he said he based his performance a little bit off of Jack Nicholson.
Yep, he did.
I can see that
Yeah, yeah,
too.
yeah. So, yeah, 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 yeah. Shut the fuck up.
I love that little bit. That was pretty funny. Like even he was getting tired of Quinn's antics.
So a little personal, but I tend to say that to certain people.
Ah, does get the
Sometimes,
message across.
yeah. I mean, I will say this: I'm not one to really like say something like that to people because
Yeah.
you know me as I am now. I'm very you know what's the words to best describe? Not necessarily juvenile. I'm more expressive, but
Ah.
but it's ever rare where I do that. You know,
Yeah.
where I literally like mimic and like mock their talking and just cut them off with that word
Yeah.
with that phrase.
Ooh.
It's rare that I do that, but I have there have been times when I did that, and that's
Hmm.
only because I was an edgy teenager.
Ah, okay. So I
So
guess, well, technically, I guess you could say Frost is still an edgy teenager.
that's why I meant when I said earlier about the whole Gen X vampires.
Yeah. Ooh, that is
Hallway fight.
painful.
This horrified me as a child too. Them
Yeah.
exploding, especially her when she expanded.
Yeah.
He got off
Just
easier.
screams.
The hallway fights are always the best in action movies. Just two
Yeah.
dudes and one dude, or usually, or in this case, uh, equal opportunity fight.
Yep.
Speaking of equal opportunity, I like this line from Batman when he runs into Red Claw. Red Claw, a woman. Does that bother you? On the contrary, I'm an equal opportunity fighter.
Gotta give Batman credit. No matter what you
It's
are,
like
if you're a criminal, you're a criminal.
it's not this. It's not saying he likes hitting women. It's he's saying that when it comes down to a woman fighting him, he has no problem defending himself
Yep.
against a woman. I find it more sexist if you don't defend yourself against a woman.
True.
And it's Sana Lathan, his mother.
Yep. This must be pretty scarring for him, especially when she still
But
looks
you
quite
died.
young.
Now it's funny that you mentioned that. Wesley Snipes is 9 years older than her in this movie,
Oh,
and that's supposed to be his mother.
I mean, you could say because of the vampire bite, that's why she looks a little younger.
Yeah, I'm just saying like the age difference is on display. You could tell that Wesley is way older than Sana Lathan in this shot.
Yeah, but it works in this context.
It does.
Ooh. So I guess this makes Deacon Frost his daddy.
One big happy fucking family. That bitch your mother. Well, here I am. Schooner. I've seen HBO's Spawn when I was a kid. That's that's kind of weird saying that, but yeah, dude, I was a kid in the '90s. I've seen quite a number of stuff. Trust me. And Damien X says we need a Ghost Rider / Bay team up film, live or anime. I don't care if it's Nick Cage as Johnny Blaze again or Johnny Depp as Danny Ketch.
Johnny Depp is
Careful what
Ghost
you wish.
Rider. Huh.
I'm saying, careful what you wish for, dude. Careful what you wish for.
I'm just
Speaking
thinking,
of
like Johnny Depp is Ghost Rider. That would be interesting to see.
speaking of which, I was thinking about Marvel Knights and having
Ah.
a separate universe from the MCU. If they want, like, I think Daredevil would have been. Grant, we got the Daredevil that we deserve now, but at the time, I was thinking about if we wanted to go back and reboot Daredevil in the movie franchise, we need a whole separate branch for Marvel to experiment on, and that's
Ah.
where Ghost Rider would have went into Punisher, Daredevil, and Blade would have went into, and if I was a businessman, if I were in the movie industry, or at least if I was working with Marvel Studios, I would have made that separate studio, and that's where I would have put those guys in, because I didn't. Truth be told, I do not want these guys in the MCU at all. I want them to be in their own separate universe. So it'd be Ghost
Oh.
Rider, Daredevil, Blade,
Even.
and Punisher. Deadpool needs to be in its own universe
Huh.
too, but those four would have worked in my vision. They would have been the separate MCU that is more R-rated oriented.
A much more action and horror
Yeah,
side of Marvel.
that's my idea for Daredevil, Blade, and any of those guys. They shouldn't. I'm sorry. They don't need to be in the MCU. No, not every Marvel character needs to be in the MCU. No matter what the fans have been saying, like we need this guy. When we gonna have Wolverine? No, no. They work fine on their own. Cause then y'all gonna be nagging. How we explain these guys exist and then no, let them be in their own universe. There, problem solved.
Not even a one-time Avengers crossover.
Artificial Johnny says, in the spirit of Kazuma, dropkick a woman if needed. I don't know what that context means. Either it's a Tekken reference or an anime reference. And Damien has a rumor for you, Owen.
Hmm.
There you go.
Oh. Hmm. I honestly think it would be very interesting to see Johnny Depp as Ghost Rider.
It would have worked. It would have worked.
I could actually see it. Some people might raise some eyebrows, thinking like, "Really, him?" But it's like, well, wouldn't be the first time he's played like rogues.
True. But Ghost Rider's not a rogue. He's more of a renegade.
All right, a renegade.
Rogues are thieves. Rogues are thieves and pickpockets. That's what a rogue is.
Oh, okay.
And now you know what a rogue is. That's basically Han Solo's character archetype, which I'm gonna cover this Thursday. Archetypes, stereotypes. Be on the lookout for those stream, everybody, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, a rogue is basically Jack Sparrow. You're right, he
Yep.
plays a rogue a few times, but it's Jack Sparrow, which is a pirate.
Yeah.
Han Solo, which is a smuggler,
Yep.
and who's a thief? Black Widow, not Black Widow, Black Cat,
No. Yes.
and Catwoman. Those are rogues.
Yep. Then why would you name Rogue from X-Men?
Uh, she still has
He's not a
powers, dude.
thief.
Well, she still has powers
Oh yeah, that's right.
and memories and information. She does more than steals powers. She can steal your information and your mind too. from your memory.
Okay. Oh, all right. So they didn't know what they were doing. Okay, never mind then.
Oh, Arthur's Johnny brought context from Kazuma from Konosuba. I yearn for true gender equality. Yep, if you take that context.
Hmm.
Actually, you know what? Let's take a break for a moment to Marvel. Yes, I'm using that pun intended. Marvel, the architecture on the set.
Oh
It's
yeah,
got a little bit of Greek slash
Egyptian.
Egyptian. Oh, we're another concept that never got explored in later films. Ghouls. Her
Oh
boyfriend, her ex,
yeah,
not boyfriend, her ex boyfriend. That's her ex boyfriend. Her
yeah.
ex boyfriend did not turn into a vampire per se. He turned into a ghoul.
Kind of creepy too. It's like
Garen, Garen.
he,
I never thought I would see you here.
I actually did feel bad for him the most.
Yeah, because he's mumbling to himself that at the fact that they feed him down there,
Ah,
and he
the thing,
knows the pattern.
and the thing is,
He knows the routine.
when you first meet him, he didn't seem like a very bad guy. They just seemed to have a very rocky relationship.
Well, there was no relationship. She broke up with him. He said, "Do you ever got second thoughts about us?"
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, tell me, Karen. Do you still have that second thoughts about us?
Ooh, ooh.
So there's a lot of bones down there.
Yeah.
He doesn't drain them. He actually eats them.
Ooh. Becomes more
And
of a
again,
beast then.
like I said, I wish they would have came back to this.
The least she could have done was put him out of his misery.
Oh, he's gonna starve down there. Ain't nobody go. By the time the movie ends, ain't nobody gonna be feeding him down there. Or at least he's gonna be just he's gonna be starving for all eternity.
Ugh. A fate worse than death.
And again, you have every right to feel bad for the guy.
Yeah.
I mean, the only problem with the guy is that he was a lousy boyfriend, implied.
Implied, yes. But he probably wanted to try again, at least.
Yeah, I mean, we don't never get no context as to what their relationship was really like,
Yeah.
and that's it. That's just all. It's like he's been
He
turned
wasn't a
into a monster.
he wasn't a scumbag or anything. He
Like, and they had a good work relationship too. That's the thing.
Yeah.
They work well enough together, despite the fact that they broke up. There's no uncomfortableness in their autopsy of Quinn. Remember?
Yeah.
They,
My theory is like they tried it out, but it didn't quite work out. Like
dude,
no drama, it just didn't click.
don't think too much into it.
Well, that's just my theory.
I'm just putting my 2 cents on the fact that he's eternally a ghoul and never going to get fed ever again.
Yeah, he didn't quite deserve that at all.
Exactly. It's like I said, there's no contest to their relationship. It's just the fact that he's in a circumstance that is beyond his control and never will be in his control unless he learns how to climb up out there like she did.
Well, speaking of a relationship, his mother is awfully too close to him.
Yeah, I felt very uncomfortable when I watched this as a kid too.
Like it's one thing if like it's just mother and son reuniting, but the way
But I,
she's so seductive, the way she approached him, it's like ooh.
hey, he didn't give consent. He said, "Don't touch me." He whispered it, yes, but still.
Yeah. Ooh.
He said, "Don't touch me," and she ended up doing it anyways.
Yeah.
This is why we're in a society that we're in now. The woman can get away with it, but oh no,
Yeah.
if the worlds were reversed, You know,
Yep.
we can have that conversation all day, every day, but still, I like this shot too, where the shadows are over his cheekbones.
Hmm. Oh, I was
But
just
yeah,
saying.
going back to what you're. Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying. I've just noticed how they, the way they positioned him, it almost looked like he was about to get like nailed to a cross or something.
Yeah, it's always the Jesus. It always goes back to the Jesus pose.
Well, yeah, vamps are very religious in a weird sense.
Well, you can also say that it's a nice contraption to drain the blood faster through the blood vessels in
Yeah,
underneath the wrists.
yeah, on the wrists. In which,
But back to what I was going to say about his mother is the fact that she's a complete monster at this point.
that
There's
is
no
true.
freeing her. There's no reasoning with her.
Yeah,
She has this. It makes you uncomfortable because the way how she nuzzles him
yeah,
like an animal to her baby. That's
yeah,
what makes it feels uncomfortable. Like at the same time, it's like you know that there's some motherly connection still there, but the way out it's pervaded. Is what I'm
yeah.
saying.
She's no longer his mother, basically.
J- Damien says, "I'm sure Blade will put the ghoul out of his misery. He tends to remove loose ends. Mm, maybe we don't know."
I would have. It's like putting down a dog
Okay,
with rabies.
I'm gonna derail this for a bit. Can we take a moment here to say that the SJWs are full of shit in what they're talking about?
And what?
Because we have the 90s here where we shared culture. You have all sorts of leading Vampire Nation members all on display right now.
Yep,
You have Germans, you have Russians, you have Jamaican, you have African American, all in one circle. And there are
yep.
12 of them.
That is quite true. And a French one, the woman in the
Yep.
pink coat, Mercury.
But she's not part of the Vampire Nation. I'm talking about the council members.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, and it makes sense too. Vampires across the world.
Exactly. I'm like, what are you talking about? We don't have a culture or people don't have no we have culture everywhere. We talked about culture in the 90s by
Yep.
sharing it. That's why I meant what I said when we had that when I did the stream with Ishii,
Yeah.
demystifying the black man's burdens. I said we
Yeah.
shared culture. There was never a time where I stepped in and felt out of place in any event that I've been in or any circle of people and never felt outnumbered. But that's not what the stream is about. That's a tangent.
Yeah.
That's just a tangent.
By the way, was Quinn smoking a blunt when he was all like
Yep,
laughing, laughing
yep.
about going to be gods?
I'm gonna be a naughty vampire. I'm gonna be a naughty fucking god.
It's like you want to be the god of weed. That's what you're going to be.
Schooner has two comments on my tangent too. I just
Hmm.
thought it was cool that Blade is more powerful than any vampire if he drinks human blood. Also, 90s was more diverse slash e- equality driven, and they were less a hole about it.
Quite true.
Exactly. Like you never really questioned it
No,
whatsoever.
I
Even when
never
you
did.
even when you had medieval movies that had black people in it, you never questioned it. Like Dungeons and Dragons, another guilty pleasure of mine, with Marlon Wayans and Jimmy Olsen from Lois and Clark: The New Adventures of Superman. You never questioned it because it's high fantasy.
Ah,
Even when we had that one King Arthur movie that came out after the Clive Owen one, the one where where I think Guinevere is supposed to be black, not the Merlin show. That
okay.
there was another one called I think it was something called King, not King, but it was something at the end King, and they were basically a band of fighters that were protecting a young King Arthur,
Oh,
and one of them
that's cool.
was a black woman, and she was Guinevere. And again,
Oh,
never questioned it. Is anyone thirsty? I hope you're all fucking thirsty.
I just realized in like the in this in Blade, just like in the Legend of Sleepy Hollow movie, I noticed they definitely. I feel like they purposefully made the blood look a lot brighter than it usually is.
That's a staple from movies of old. If you ever looked at the Planet of the Apes movies, the original ones,
Yeah,
blood does not look like that.
yeah. But I think they purposefully in this one made it more brighter. I think.
Yeah, even it's dude, it's way worse than in Blade 2. That blood jacuzzi, it's
Oh,
way worse. Like that bright red, that's crazy.
I like it when blood is that bright red in films.
Okay, a couple of things. Well, no. One thing I'd say, I was never comfortable with that scene where he sucks her blood.
Oh yeah.
I know
Well, I
what
mean,
they're
Professor
intended.
Geek did say that the vampires are a very sexual kind of monster.
I'm saying like I know what they were going with. I'm still never comfortable with this scene. I tend to skip it at
Oh,
times. It goes on too long for one, and I just don't like her moans.
oh,
And he's gotta fight his mother. No Oedipus complex. Be gone, but
yep. I love the little blood mark he makes on his face.
I love how back then we still maintain the whole X-ray vision when somebody gets electrocuted.
Oh yeah, with the skulls. It's goofy,
Hmm.
but it's enjoyably goofy.
It's funny how she's still moving around despite losing most of her blood.
Yep.
More more on that later. Usually I would complain about this whole fight between him and his mother, but it's actually not that bad of a shot. It's not shaky cam either.
No, but they're saving the best for last. This is more of a personal matter.
Well, here's the thing. It's obvious that Sana Lathan is not a fighter. They just
Yes.
having her wave her hand a bit. So that's it's usually when it comes to like I said, it's less of a fight because more times than not when they do that, it's obvious that the actors do not know how to fight.
Yeah.
So they have to go with that shot.
But it's not really a fight scene. He's more like he has to take care of her mother. I mean, his mother.
And it also shows that she ain't shit in a fight compared to him. He's a
Oh yeah.
seasoned fighter,
Oh yeah. We got to the bit where the little skulls come out of the skeletons.
like chest bursters.
Yeah.
You know
Would that
what?
be their souls?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, dude. They had to fight to keep this in.
Oh.
The studio did not want them to have the spirits gestate out their bodies like that. They had to keep they had to fight to keep the scene going.
Oh.
This almost never made it to the film.
What was the studio's problem with?
Uh, I forgot, but I think it had to
Didn't
be religious reasons.
didn't they know what they were getting themselves into when they signed on to release this?
They rarely do, dude. They
Oh.
rarely do. Like take Fight Club for example, right?
Well, I have not seen Fight Club, but I've heard
Okay,
of it.
a little bit of spoiler. A little bit of
Oh,
spoiler. There
okay.
was a scene where after Norton's character make love to Carter's character, she utters a line saying, "I want to have your first abortion,"
Oh.
and the studio Frost.
Yes. Sorry, this is. I always love a great little final act fight scene, and I love the music to this too. I always look up the music to
Goosebumps
this.
whenever time that song cuts in. Every time my goosebumps comes in.
You know,
Sorry,
this is how you
I'm
could have shot a Mortal Kombat film too. Just saying.
Damien is perplexed at the fact that you haven't seen Fight Club.
I mean, I grew up in a Christian home, so we didn't see films like that. There's my explanation.
I always love this scene where he kicks him in the face and then kicks him in the gut and shoves it to the side.
Ah, it's very Bruce Lee like of him.
Rips the dude's neck off and throws the chunk at the other dude.
Yeah, just like something out of Mortal Kombat.
He
And then,
punches. He puts
oh,
his
and
he puts
kicks
his
the other
fist
guy
in
in
the
the
dude's
groin.
stomach. This
But
fight
doesn't
scene has a
he?
lot of hilarious moments.
Doesn't Blade fight a lot like Bruce Lee?
That's well. Here's the thing. You want to know? Do you want to know Wesley Snipes' pedigree of fighting styles?
Is it Jeet Kune Do?
That and capoeira. He knows capoeira
Ah,
and jujitsu and some kickboxing.
okay.
That's why when you see the kicks that he's doing with that other guy, that's
Yeah.
capoeira.
Ah, that's
Those spinning
cool.
kicks that they were doing, that was completely. It's funny when you're looking at it, but that's actually capoeira
Ah,
that they're
oh
doing.
yeah, miss. Yeah, I see. Does a little duck
Yeah, that's
kick.
capoeira.
Ooh, breaks the other guy's leg.
See, but that's not actually. Did you see that evasion movie he did? That's also capoeira.
Ah,
When he leans back like that, that was capoeira. But
cool.
it's not the dance move of capoeira. It's the combat application of capoeira.
Ah, okay,
The dance stuff that they do, that's celebration. It's not
okay.
really the combat oriented. So the flips, the spins, the dance and all that stuff,
Yeah.
that's the celebration aspect of capoeira.
Oh, that's just for show.
Yeah, real capoeira, completely different.
Ah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I like
They
that
actually,
Deacon Frost brought a samurai sword.
yep.
Wonder where he got that sword.
He's always had it.
Hmm?
I say he always had it.
He's always had it?
Mm-hmm. It's never
Oh,
shown
okay.
in the movie, but he's always had it. That's not. I'm saying they acquire a lot of weapons through the market that they have.
Oh, okay.
So I doubt that it would be hard for him to actually acquire that weapon. Oh, another trivia.
Yeah.
This whole fight scene was added in because the test audience did not like the original ending of this fight.
Oh, yeah. I saw someone do a review and they showed the clip where he becomes like a blood tornado, and yeah, that looked bad.
Well, here's the thing.
Especially.
Had they would have went with it, they would have worked really hard to make it look better. But they didn't
Uh,
have the budget for it, or at least they didn't have the technology. Another capoeira movie he just did, that kick they did, that's capoeira.
okay.
But what I was saying was the technology was limited, so
Yeah.
they set up for something different.
This is fine
Also,
too.
one alternate ending was gonna introduce Michael Morbius. He was gonna be the next villain for the sequel,
Whoa, that would
but
have been interesting to see.
they also reshot it because they didn't know if they were gonna do a sequel after this.
Oh, okay.
But I still maintain that Jack Nomek is Michael Morbius.
I love how he called.
Yeah, he's like a little bitch. Not gonna help you now. Rule of cooling effect.
Yep. That's one.
He is, I like how he's quick to knock that out.
Yep. You gotta overdose that dude.
Hmm. I like that jump he does. It's like very predatory.
Yep. Oh, you missed that.
Some motherfuckers always trying to ice skate uphill.
Last one.
Dude, that line was ad-libbed.
I love it.
And that's only because they asked Wesley what he thought about Deacon Frost, and he said he's the type of guy that ice skates uphill, and they liked it so much
Oh,
they let him say that line.
that's funny. I love the. I love how that bit when Frost blows up. It made me think. That's how you should do Fist of the North Star for live action. Just
We do have a live action Fist of the North Star.
Yeah, I
It's
know. I
terrible
saw some
though.
scenes of it. It doesn't look that great. And when he did that, his iconic like little Hokuto Shinken, it looked pathetic. I'm thinking of checking out the whole film just to see just how bad it is.
Damien mentioned that he grew up Catholic too, and his parents had him watch the Omen trilogy. I feel sorry for you, buddy, because those sequels are bad, from what I
The
heard.
thing is, I mean, okay, first, I'm not Catholic. I'm more in the Baptist area, and both my parents are not the biggest of horror fans, so they would never have showed me a horror movie as a little kid.
Let alone Fight Club.
Yeah.
And Schooner says Nomega's an amazing villain. What are you, Blade? Is the enemy my friend? Or my enemy? If you want me so bad, Blade, here I am. Why kill me? We have the same enemy. We want the same thing. Speaking of which, they had alternate takes for Whistler's death.
Oh,
Um, they were going to leave it ambiguous.
okay.
And one of these endings, this shot here,
Yeah.
Whistler was supposed to show up as a vampire now,
Oh,
but they opted for just one vampire, just a random vampire.
okay.
Be a she, not be the she. I'm quoting Jarek Nomic again.
Okay.
That actress has somewhat decent pedigree. She's been in quite some stuff.
Oh, got you at a bad time, comrade.
Hmm.
Yes. I like that. It's sort
And
of like
thus
to be
begins
continued.
Blade 2. And Neil starts with us for the first time in our
Hello.
rewatch.
Hello,
Sorry,
Neo Star.
I gotta quote him now since this opener is here. The brilliant star that shines through the night, the spirit of vengeance that haunts your nightmares. Rise, our man, sons, before you. And
And let justice blaze out.
yes, so that was Blade.
Yeah.
Was it as good as you still remembered it, Owen?
Yeah. Definitely, like, it definitely has some, say, for the CG of the time, didn't quite age as well as.
Yeah.
But then again, that's CG effects for you. They age like milk.
Well, here's the thing: they hold up for its time. It's not
Yeah.
as very noticeable like Species is,
Ah.
but it's noticeable. It's like Species. Oh my goodness, the
I think I,
CG was
s-
not.
I s- think I saw little clips of Species, and it's like, oh, that didn't hold up as well as they thought it would.
Yeah, yeah. It's yeah. But some areas do, like the train scene where he grabs the train. It still holds up.
Yeah.
The scene where the two vampires get hit by the train still holds up. And I think that was kind of a bit of a FX trick there for that one.
Yeah. It's. I will say.
Oh.
Though I will say this, the CG effects are not as bad as what you saw in like the two Mortal Kombat movies.
And I'm not big enough. I'm not big on time right now. Uh, match has moved the we watch to Monday,
Oh,
so
okay.
I can still talk. So yeah, what you were gonna say? Sorry about that.
I was gonna say, well, the CG effects in this film definitely look a lot better compared to like the two Mortal Kombat movies that came out in the '90s.
It definitely was. I've watched the Blade anime, Neo Star.
Oh yeah, I heard about there was a Blade anime out there.
It is weird, actually. Matthew Flynn, that Dracula. They love the Reaper's design so much that they even put it on the dogs,
Oh, that's
even though
funny.
it would biologically not make sense. Are you going to leave anytime soon, Owen?
Uh, maybe soon. Yeah,
You
just
know we
might.
can wrap this up then because I
Okay.
got to use the bathroom.
What I was going to say was, I actually did see like the sort of the fight scene between Blade and Dracula and Trinity on YouTube.
Terrible, terrible.
The thing is, like, when he went into his like Dracula mode,
Hmm.
that is not the look I would have chosen for Dracula. You should have went for something like from Underworld Evolution. I'm trying to remember
Mm.
which one is
You talking
from.
about Marcus?
Yes, Marcus. That would have been a better look for Dracula if he had to have like his own form. Either that or like the Dracula monster from Van Helsing.
Yeah,
But like
but
that like devil looking monster, it's not a vampire, that's a demon.
hmm they there's a lot to dissect, but I'm not gonna. I don't think I'm ever gonna cover that movie because I don't have the movie.
Oh.
Two, I just don't have the courage to even go with that movie. That there's a lot of stupid in that movie.
I think
But
I might
part
check
two,
out Blade Trinity just to see how bad it can be.
push like this. Who in the hell thought it was a good idea to put a blind woman on security detail?
Wait a minute, a blind woman as security?
As in looking at the screen security, while
Looking
the
at the
rest of
screen?
while the rest of our friends are playing basketball.
A blind woman looking at screens. That's like a joke in a parody.
All in one. Yep. And
You know,
and
I've actually watched an interview. I think it was Patton Oz.
yeah, Patton Oswalt as the new Whistler.
Oh, yeah, he talked about the interview and he said like how like the film itself was a D minus, but if they knew what was going on behind the scenes and it managed to be released, he said it would be an A plus.
Neil, you weren't here, but I did explain what I would have done if I was working at Marvel Studios. I would have branched out another Marvel Studios called Marvel Knights, which they eventually did, but it did not take off completely. Ghost Rider Spirit Revengeance kind of tagline the Marvel Knights thing, but if I was helming it, it would have had Ghost Rider, Daredevil, the Punisher, and who else did I say?
He said Blade also.
Yeah, Blade. Those would have been the front runners of Marvel Knights universe.
Hmm. What is the Marvel Knights run like?
Marvel Knights is basically everything from they use knights for very dark stories, and
Oh, okay.
like I said, I say that because those superheroes are part of that run in Marvel that Marvel doesn't really discuss enough. Marvel Knights is a thing in the comic book industry. Was a thing. I don't know if it's still going, but
Hmm.
yeah, Daredevil's been in Marvel Knights, Punisher, and Blade. Mostly Blade and Ghost Rider are part of the Marvel Knights,
That's
but
cool.
there are times that Daredevil and Punisher cameo. So that's why I said those would have been my front runners for the Marvel Knights universe.
Is it in graphic novel form? I'd like to see
Yeah,
that.
that's what I'm saying. That's the whole point of Marvel Knights. They're in graphic novels. They're
Oh,
they're
good.
their own branch, and like So say for instance this. You have the Ultimate Universe, you have
Yeah.
616 Universe, but within 616 Universe, there's another comic branch, which is Marvel
Oh.
Knights. And
Okay.
then there's also Marvel Max, which is the badass superheroes when they're actually allowed to cut people up. So you have
Ah.
Punisher Max, you have Wolverine Max, you have Daredevil Max.
Ooh.
They can actually,
Wolverine.
yep,
Oh man. Yeah,
yep.
it'd be
That-
old man
They
Logan
had
right there.
those. They had those. They also had I'm blanking on it. There's some other stuff that I can't remember right now, but there was stuff that was happening during Marvel's period, even when the MCU was still in its infancy. But like that's why I said, like, if I was part of the MCU crowd, I would have really pushed for that for that towards Kevin Feige to start up Marvel Knights, so that those who are so tired of the sanitation violence of Marvel's MCU, they can gravitate towards Marvel Knights
We
for their.
somewhat. Oh, sorry. I was gonna say we somewhat got that with the Marvel Netflix shows, but probably not like on the level of Marvel Knights, is what I'm hearing.
Neostar, they might have. I'm not sure though. Ant-Man and Wasp having a Marvel Knights run.
Huh. I don't see them being like that dark, but
I think Marvel Knights also helmed Fear itself run too. There was the Fear itself.
uh,
And see you later, Schooner. I'm glad that you came to our what this channel was originally for, the UN Spacey Wolf Squadron. It still is,
yeah.
but it's gonna take some time because it's really. I hate to say this, but it falls onto Owen if he's able to acquire physical media of whatever it is that we try to rewatch.
Yeah, and that's what I'm. That's my going to be my like goal from this to the next year. Is just I'm going to be on a little quest to acquire any physical media of like
You're
any
on a
film.
binge. Though Matthew Flynn does agree that Dracula makes sense as a final boss for Blade.
Oh yeah, I can agree with that.
Uh,
I mean, he's the ultimate baddie, so be a good little build up.
in a way, I'm okay with it, but at the same time, I wouldn't have went with that because they did that with Buffy already. They did it with the Batman, so it would have been, to me, it would have been just overused. Is what I'm saying. Too
But I
overused.
mean, Blade was first introduced in Tomb of Dracula in the '70s, so I think it
True.
made sense.
That's why I'm okay with it because
Yeah,
of that. That's true.
the history behind it would have been great.
Yep. And it's a shame that. Well, I was going to mention about Whistler's full name,
Yeah.
Abraham Whistler.
Oh, like Van Helsing.
Yep, that's why they named him that. But I was hoping that they were going to meet Abraham Van Helsing at some point or some descendant.
That'd
That's why
be
I said,
pretty
like,
cool.
if I were to do that would be my rewrite of Blade Trinity. Karen would have been running the Night Stalkers instead of the blind woman.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, very un PC. Yeah, screw your PC.
It, but it was,
Hope it gets a
yeah, but
virus.
still,
Not kidding.
oh, but still, a blind like if you're not Daredevil and you're just like a blind person leading the team, I'm like, I'm sorry, but I don't think I can trust you enough if you don't got eyes.
Yeah, she. It's fun. It's ridiculous. Even more ridiculous is the fact that all of her friends got killed, and she was the last one left, and she's just running around with a blind cane and a pistol in her hand, running running around in pure darkness too, mind you.
Oh, that is hilarious.
Yeah, if it like I said, I'm with you, buddy, but good luck on watching it.
This sounds like a
Stupid moments
laugh.
like that are abound in that movie. Stupid moments are abound in that movie,
All right.
and I'm surprised I saw it in theaters. Those, as a matter of fact, both the first Blade and Blade Trinity are the only ones I saw in theaters. I never got a chance to see Blade 2 in theaters.
Uh, yeah, I definitely do love Blade 2 a lot. Though, like action wise, like it's pretty good, but not as good as what you saw in the first one. Like it didn't have that like Hong Kong flair.
Hmm.
It was more
Uh,
standard Hollywood.
Damien says one of the problems with Blade Trinity is that they made Dracula a Mesopotamian vampire instead of Vlad Dracula.
Oh, so they didn't
So
even get Dracula right. Wow.
yeah, so that will be our rewatch for tonight, everybody. I'm sorry to cut this short, but I'm glad that we had a lot of people here today for this
Yeah.
rewatch. So
Thank
I
you all
bid
for
you guys
joining us.
farewell. Sign us out, Owen.
Yes, thank you all for joining us on this wonderful rewatch on the UN Spacey Wolf Squadron. Please leave a like, and if you haven't yet, subscribe. And if you don't do any of those things, I will visit you in the middle of the night and open up my Mega Smashers upon you.
Let's hope that it will never come down to that, but that will be it, everybody. This has been the U.S. Spacey Wolf Squadron. This has been your werewolf, your wolf commander, Wolf Tent, and the Guyver Patriot, Owen Lister. Also like to thank my buddy, the Immaculate Travis Scribe, Ivan Mendoza, for supplying the link for the movie. Check us
Thank you,
out.
Ivan.
Check us out ever again. Keep your eyes open for WRC Tuesdays and Thursdays, 2:30 Eastern Time. And for the rewatches again, 9 o'clock Eastern Time, PM, by the way. So every Sunday, 9 o'clock PM. And take care, everybody.
Aren't you gonna do
Uh,
your howl?
yeah, I'm waiting for you to say goodbye.
Oh, see you, everybody.
Ow!